All right, what's up, beautiful people of the Grams? This is your friend Jose Trujillo, the world's greatest living artist. Just doing my thing here. Hopefully, everybody's good right now. Let's see what this thing looks like, my friends. What's happening? So I'm gonna get some a couple of art supplies I need before I get my day started with that. We got all kinds of cool stuff going on. I'm excited, and yeah, it's a good day. It's a good thing. It's a good day. We'll see how it goes. I've been thinking lately about the importance of staying committed. You know, and committed to what, right? Committed to what? Committed to the things that are working, and the things that don't seem to be working. I think there needs to be some sort of commitment there too. Things that are not working in our careers. There's a lot of stuff that's not working, and the only reason I'm willing to bet the only reason it's not really working is because there's not enough commitment there, and so I've been paying attention to that in my own career. What is that? How can I make it better? How can I make it work in a way that is fruitful? That'll give some fruit. And if not, should I chuck it? Some stuff I think you just need to chuck. If not, should I just chuck it? And so that's been my day. Now, last time I was talking to an artist about this commitment thing. It started showing up as sort of like this necessity, right? Like, oh man, I just need to get committed. I need to get committed. More than a necessity, more like a stress. Like, I need to get committed. And I told this person, this artist, I was like, look, you need to get committed, but don't think of it as a limitation. Don't think of it as a scarcity. Don't think in ideas that there's not enough time in the day, that there is not enough ideas you can come up with as an artist. Don't look at it as that. Try to look at it more from the point of, hey, I'm just gonna do this thing regardless of how I feel, what it looks like. I'm just gonna do it, and then I'm gonna move to the next thing. Another thing that I've learned also, speaking about this, hey, what's up, Vivek? Another thing that I've learned is don't over promise yourself something. I think that's if not the main reason why lots of artists out there tend to fail in the game. They overpromise themselves things. They overpromise themselves what they're going to do in a day. If that makes any sense. You know, they tell themselves, I'm going to do A, B, and C. And I'm going to do so much of this, whatever it is. I'm going to do so much of this. And so what ends up happening is that they overpromise themselves about what they were going to do, so they can't keep it up. In other words, they can do it one day, but they can't do it the next day. They can't seem to keep it up. And so what I learned about this is that you're better off doing 10 minutes a day than 8 hours on a Saturday. I'm being serious. Like if you're looking to, I don't know, get engagement, grow, or whatever, sell your artwork on Instagram, you're better off doing something 10 minutes a day, every day, than waiting for Saturday to do like 5 or 6 hours or all day there, you know, sitting there using your Instagram account. The commitment of the 10 minutes is going to pay off tremendously. Like you have no idea. It's going to pay out so much more over the course of a year, 2 years, as opposed to trying to grind it out in one day. And so this is what I've learned in my own career. How's it going, Margaret? It's try to find out the things that you're going to do, but minimize the expectation of how much you can do that day. So that you're able to do it every day. The trick is to be able to do it every day. And I think that's where including myself, most artists that I've coached have that. I mean, I would say just about every artist that I've coached has that challenge. They're trying to do a lot in one day, and then they get overwhelmed, and then you know, and they do it. They do a lot in one day, but then the next day they do a little bit less, or the next day they do nothing, and so they get overwhelmed. How do I keep this up? And I'm like, you can't keep it up like that. Like that level of resistance, it's a muscle. You can't start from there. Start little. You know, like lifting weights or whatever. Start little. Start with just the bar. Start with something. And don't think of it as I'm gonna go do this for 2-3 hours. Oh, Jose says that he paints for 12 hours a day. I'm gonna go paint for 12. If you don't have the resistance, you're gonna hate it. I didn't start painting like that. I started painting little by little. Just started adding more time and more time. Right, to the point where, and then I got to the point where I started adding too much time. There is such thing as too much time into it, because then it blocks me from doing other things that are vital also to my business. There is such thing as doing too much of one thing. There really is. Even if it's paying you, there is such thing as that. I've experienced it. I've experienced it in my career. There is such thing as doing too much of one thing, because then it blocks you, right, from moving to other areas where you can have success, where you can. I'll give you an example. When I was selling for those of you who are signed up to my monthly subscription, I released a workshop on selling on eBay. A lot of people have been asking me about selling on eBay. When I started selling on eBay, I found out how to create a cash flow through auctions. A beautiful cash flow. It's been given me for over 8 years now. The first year it gave me over 6 figures, and then it just kept going and going. And so now we're working on earning 7 figures on eBay alone, just on eBay alone. And so the first, when I started earning that income on eBay, and I say on eBay alone because I'm an artist. I do different stuff, right? I do commissions. I do gallery exhibits. I'm in as many places as I can get my hands into. And so when that started, I saw the cash flow of the auctions. I was doing auctions, and I saw the cash flow, and I saw it work really beautiful. Also, because I was working, right? But I saw it work really beautiful, and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. How can I double this? And I was like, oh yeah, cool, I'm gonna double this. How can I double this again? How can I double this again? And all I kept thinking is, how could I double it? That's all I could think, because the cash flow was consistent and persistent. So when something is giving you, you want to double down on it. This is perfectly normal. This is like rule number 1 in business. If you're selling something, sell more of it, right? Double down. If people are actually buying. And so I was doing that. And then I got to a point where all I was trying to do is control my time so that I could double down on those things. But then I started realizing, there's other stuff that I completely neglected on eBay alone. Okay, I'm talking about just eBay alone. There's other stuff that I completely neglected. There is such thing as buy it now, selling something at retail price. Okay, selling something at full price, not at auction, but selling it at retail price on eBay. There is such thing as that. And so what I did was that I gave myself a little bit of time, even though this took time from me and it didn't give me the results right away. Every day I would give myself 2 hours to create artwork that I was going to put there as buy it nows. Every day I did this. How's it going, Patty? Every day I was doing this, every single day. At the very least 1 hour, but it was normally 2 hours every day. So I would take away time from creating auctions, which were giving me most of the cash flow on eBay, and I started creating buy it nows. Paintings that I would sell, larger paintings, smaller paintings, it didn't matter. Works on paper, acrylics, it didn't matter. Things that I know that I could sell at retail price, but they were going to sit there, and I had to wait for the right buyer. That's how you sell something at retail price. You have to wait for the right buyer. So it didn't matter. I was doing that, and while I was doing that, I was taking a punch, right? A little bit of stress, like, oh man, I'm not working on the thing that is actually paying me anymore. So there's a little bit of like, you feel a little bit stressed. I'm not working. I could be using those 2 extra hours. Oh my God, those 2 extra hours would equal up X amount over the year in auctions, right? In auctions. And so, but I took the little sacrifice. I took those 2 hours and I started creating other works that were not immediate, that were not going to pay me immediate. So thank God that I did that I had the courage to do that, because as I started listing them, because of the amount of movement that I had created with the auctions, I started randomly selling those. And they were selling pretty frequently. I still sell them pretty frequently. They were selling pretty frequent because of the movement that I had already generated of the traffic with the auctions. And so they started selling pretty frequent, And so now instead of trying to get some extra income from the auctions, I was now selling something at retail price. I was selling a painting for $500 or $2,000 or it started. Retail prices started coming in daily. Something I could have never done had I not put my focus on other things other than just the one thing that works. I hope this makes any sense. This is a little bit more high-end strategy, I guess. Let's call it that. It's a bit of a strategy that I've applied in different areas. I've applied this in commissions. I've applied this in selling directly to art dealers or interior designers. It's a strategy of generating traffic, but also generating traffic with something that you can take a punch, sort of like the auction. It looks like I'm taking a punch, right? Because I could sell that at retail price, but also offering retail price items in the back end. And so had I not done that, I would have missed out completely. And so I'm telling you, if you're just doing Instagram and you're trying to get everything from Instagram and you're like, oh man, I'm going to get all my traffic from Instagram, and you're spending all this time and trying to figure it out Instagram, you're spending, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours on Instagram a day, or even if you're doing it for 2 hours or whatever, I would say to you, that's awesome. If it's working, double down on it, but don't neglect the other areas, because you may well be missing on traffic that you had no idea existed elsewhere, or sales that you have no idea existed elsewhere, that are extremely juicy to your extremely juicy, we're going to call it like that, to your bottom line. This is something that came to me through experience. Again, this is not something I read in a book somewhere. This is something that started coming up as the experience evolved. I started realizing, oh man, okay, this is good. It's sort of like when I remember the duplicate pieces. I don't duplicate pieces, and the reason for that is because I need every piece to be original, and so I don't think of it that way. I don't think of it as duplicating. I think of it as I'm going to do a series of landscapes or still lifes or a series of birds or whatever, right? With the auction thing, though, I have it down to almost a science, I would say. And so the thing about auctions is that what makes people pay attention to something in such an immediate place like an auction is the uniqueness. Why would you buy something at auction unless there's the price, right, of the item? There's a few things. First of all, if you're selling a Rolex at auction, it doesn't have to be pretty unique, right? It's a Rolex. It doesn't have to be pretty unique. It doesn't have to be. It didn't have to belong to, I don't know, John Wayne no. It's a Rolex. The item itself is unique. It doesn't need another layer of uniqueness. Now, it'd be nice if it had another one. But if you're selling a Rolex, and the Rolex is, I don't know, let's say it's one of those 10K Rolex, right? It's $10,000. You're selling it. You could sit it there, have it sit there, and put the price of, I don't know, $8,000 or $9,000, and try to sell it quick, right? But you could easily put it at auction and pretty much get the same price as the retail price. And I know auctioneers that do that. They start it at $1 and they get the. I know it sounds bananas. Most people won't do it, but that's why most people don't win. I've seen auctioneers sell diamonds that way. They start the diamond at $1, and it's to generate buzz. But the diamond, or whatever carat it is, or the watch, or the rings, or whatever, anything, jewelry that is, because the value of it, the value of those things, everybody knows. If that makes any sense. Everybody knows the value of those things. A painting, not everybody knows the value of. Your painting, not everybody knows the value of. My painting, no. A Picasso, yeah, because it's a brand, right? Picasso's a brand. But you and I, people don't know the value. And so it's trickier. It's a little trickier. So you have to play with perceived value. You have to start going into perceived value. If I sell to you a car, all you gotta do is go online, and you'll have millions of people agreeing to the price of the car. If I sell to you a painting, right, and I'm not famous, well, it's more of an emotional buy. Right? It's more of an emotion. I mean, everybody's emotional, but it's more on that side. It's much more on the emotional side. Because you don't have millions of people agreeing to the value of the painting. I mean, they are agreeing to the value of the painting in a very strange way, where they're agreeing to the fact that they're not going to buy it, right? That they're not rushing towards it. Because they don't know the name, because there's no brand to it. There's no collective agreement. Even a shovel, a coffee, there's collective agreement, $4, $3, whatever. There's collective agreement. I can't sell you this cup of coffee for $1,000. I just can't. The only way I could do that is if I could get, I don't know, Mayweather, hold it, or Kim Kardashian, better yet, sip from it, or something like that, I don't know, and put her a kiss with red lipstick on the coffee or something, for anyone who's like a fan of her. That's the only way I could sell for $1,000, right? The association of something else we consider valuable in society, fame or something like that. You can't sell it unless there is uniqueness to it. And this is what I always try to hammer down with people who are selling stuff at auction. It has to go back to uniqueness. How unique is the item you're selling? How unique is it? And now, uniqueness, unfortunately, when people are trying to sell their stuff online, they think that they're going to sell it because of the item itself, the uniqueness of the item itself, but that's not how this thing works, my friends. The uniqueness starts happening in art when you, as an artist, start to become known. You have to start becoming known. And I'm not talking about famous elsewhere or whatever. No, people have to start seeing you in that platform. This is one of the things I tell people. They try to sell their artwork on Etsy, and then they go and they pour all their artwork on Etsy, and so they create a buzz. People go and see and whatnot, but then people stop seeing, because you're not showing up consistently and persistently. You're not showing up. So there's nothing to see anymore. I have an assistant who that's all he does. Just show up and list my stuff online. Show up, list stuff online. I need you to drop things online every day. I create artwork all day. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You go, you take the photos, and you start dropping the work. You start dropping it and dropping it and dropping it. Because if the market starts recognizing me, my uniqueness, right, the uniqueness that I am, because it's a little tricky. That's why people can't really grasp it. I'm not a brand. So if I'm not a brand, I have to be a micro, mini, little, super small brand that a group of people can recognize. A small group of people can recognize. If this makes any sense. What most people are trying to do is like, oh, look at my artwork, it's so amazing and blah, blah, blah. It's so unique. The artwork is unique. No, the artwork is unique because a small group of people can recognize that it's mine. It's the only reason the artwork is unique. A small group of people can recognize that it's mine. People tell me, Jose, every time I see your work, I know it's you. That's all I need. I just need to keep showing up to those people over and over and over and over and make that pool slightly larger every time. This is probably the number one reason why people miss the whole eBay thing. They don't show up with frequency. There is no frequency. So they'll show up once, they'll show up twice, but there's no frequency, so no one's really remembering who you are. No one's thinking about you. And so in the great scheme of things and scale, no one's really thinking about you because you're not a brand. You know, there's over, 8 billion people in this world? So no one's thinking about you. But in a micro market, okay? In the micro, not in the macro, in the micro, you need to have at least 1,000 people thinking about you every day. At least 1,000 people thinking about you, looking at your stuff, paying attention to what else are you painting, what's the next thing that's coming out. You need to have, think about it, guys. It's 8 billion people. Out of those 8 billion people, how many people know Picasso? Probably 90% of people have heard of the name Picasso. You and I, we're lucky if 10,000 people have heard our name. And so if we don't have that type of scale, then we need 10,000 people, right? We need 10,000 people to be thinking about us frequently. That's how I learned to play this game. If I can't go and get 8 billion people to know me, I need to have 10,000 people to remember me every day. If 2 people like the same painting, would you remake it for sale? Yeah, I mean, it gets tricky there. You have to be very honest with people and let them know that the painting is unique, and I can't really remake it. I can make a version that looks similar to it, but I can't really remake it because it wouldn't be fair to the other person. So the version they can't even look the same. And so it gets tricky depending on how you're marketing yourself. There's really no problem with it. There's really no problem at all. All you got to do is just communicate. Communication is everything. You communicate with the person that is buying it, that wants something similar, or that wants. I get people telling me all the time, "Can you paint this again?" I'm like, "No, you should have participated in the auction, right? You should have bid on it." Oh man, I couldn't bid on it, blah blah blah, for this reason or whatever reason. Can you remake it? I'm like, I can't remake it, but I'll make something along the lines. And so, look, because it's happened to me before. At some point, I told someone, "Yeah, I'll remake it." The same person that was asking me got upset. How dare I remake a painting? And they were asking me to do it. So I didn't understand my boundaries yet. And so you just got to know your boundaries. What are you willing to do? And also, how clear are you with your artwork and other people as well? What other people are getting out of your work? Are they getting something super unique, the only thing in the world? Of course they are. Everybody is, because you're not printing paintings, right? You're not painting them. You're painting them with your hands. Even if you're remaking them, they're still original. It's just a matter of how you brand yourself. The way that I like to do it is I like to tell people that I'm just not gonna repeat them, you know. And most people understand. Most people don't ask me. Most people won't ask me to do anything like that. I hope this makes sense. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I'll be talking to you guys in a bit. Let me know if any of this stuff makes any sense, my friends. Let me know if I am able to help in any way, in any form, with your art career. I don't know everything, but I have learned some stuff that was very helpful for me, and continues to be very helpful in my career, and so. Yeah, I may do a similar piece, but not the same one. And that's to keep everyone, it's to keep things fair, you know? It's to keep things fair, to keep things rolling also, you know? To keep things rolling. I don't want to say no to a sale. And so you got to learn how to say yes in an ethical way, right? And if it just doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's fine. One of the things that I do is I never think it's the last sale. Like, if a commission doesn't come through, it's fine. I'm not gonna sit and cry. I'm not gonna chase people around. But I will do my best to accommodate. I will do my best to make things work. For example, last week I had someone who wanted to buy one of my $10,000 pieces, and the thing was that not everybody has $10,000, you know, sitting around. Some people do, but not everybody does. And even the people that do, they don't want to go and just pay the $10,000. So how do we work it out? So I started working in different ways with the person, and we got to an agreement, to a very simple agreement, $300 a month. That's really what they wanted to do. I have no problem doing that with the right person, right? I have no problem doing that. And most artists would be like, oh my God, I would never do that. I have no problem. That's how I bought my car, right? That's how I buy things. I sign up to something, and now the person owns one of my $10,000 pieces for just $300 a month. The payment, right? People, especially people that buy big ticket items, they understand that the payment is what matters, not the price. It's the payment. If they really want it, right? That's how people buy jewelry. They're like, man, I really want this. I really want this watch. It's 10K, it's 20K, whatever. People that buy those watches. What's the payment? $200-300 a month. Boom, let me have it. Now I'm going around with a rollie in my wrist. For people who like that, right? Nothing wrong with it. We all buy things for different reasons. And but it's the payment. That's what I found out. It's a payment that stops people. And so I'll accommodate people. I'll move around. I'll switch. I don't want to say no. Look, one of my things is I'll try to never say no. And I say try to because sometimes it just doesn't work. But 99% of the time it does. Because people want it. Right? Hey, I really want this painting. It's out of my budget right now. Like, I know I can afford it, but I just not right now, blah, 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 for whatever reason. Hey, look, can you do 4 payments? Oh, man. And on and on and on. And then it comes to me, right? It just comes to me. Dude, Jose, how do you buy things? I buy everything. Like, just like every other American, we buy things on credit. Hey, I tell the person, look, no problem. Let's work this out. You know, $300 or $500 a month or $200 a month for X amount of months, whatever. And then we both have what we want. I made a sale. See, the thing is patience. A lot of people don't want to be patient. They're like, I want the $5,000 now. I want the No, that's not how it works. Make the sale. Just make the sale. Don't worry about it. Just be open to the sale. And then something else comes in. You know, something else comes in. Now, next time you have a client who wants to buy something, cash, and not on credit, and it doesn't matter. It all works perfectly fine. You know, all of it works perfectly fine. You don't need to sweat that type of stuff. One of the things that I teach when I coach artists is to have multiple sources of income. You know, have multiple sources of income as an artist. You want to be doing commissions. You want to be doing some auctions. You want to be selling some stuff at retail price. You want to have gallery shows. You want to be teaching something. If you can do something, why don't you teach it? Why don't you make a class? That's how I started making classes. People started asking me about, hey, how do you sell on Instagram? How do you sell on Facebook? How do you sell on eBay? And on, and that's how the classes were born. And so that's how I learned to do it. You know, and some income streams are going to be larger. Some of them are going to be smaller. Some are going to be little drops of water. It don't matter. I don't care. I'll push a $5 product. I'll push a $10 product. Hey, it's another $3K a year. You know, I'll push anything. This is something that I learned from a mentor a while back. It's like blood. You want it circulating. It doesn't matter if it's a drop or it's a big stream, right? You want it circulating. And so to me, it's the same thing. I don't mind pushing a $10 drawing, a print, or a $10,000 painting. To me, it's the same thing. You want to put it in the flow. And again, if someone's like, I really love that painting. It's just out of my my range right now. Don't say no to them. You know, 90%, probably 99% of Americans buy everything on credit. Offer them credit. Offer them a line of credit. Figure it out. In other cultures, it's a lot harder because other countries, other cultures, not everybody buys everything on credit. But especially in the U.S., I know in Europe also people buy a lot of stuff on credit. Make it work. Make it work.
Doing a picnic out at Catalina State Park.
So
what we'd have to
if you guys have any questions on this, let me know. I do offer coaching one-on-one. My coaching fees is $300 an hour. Or if you're not into that, I also have a monthly subscription where you can learn this type of stuff and a lot more other lessons that I'm releasing every month for just $20 a month. You can get all these workshops. Thank you so much, Patty. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Marty. Let me say hi to people. Philomena's is great advice. Alan says, do you ever get fed up with painting? You seem to love it so much. I do. I never really get fed up with painting. What I do is I get fed up with overthinking. So if I'm overthinking something, I know that I'm doing something wrong. That's a great question, Alan. I try just to not overthink it. Just do it, get it done, move on. The more you do, the more you can do. That's what I found out. And if you sit there and think about it, you're not going to get anything done.
Okay, darling.
And so the only problems that I've had have been when I sit there and think about stuff. What's up, Nas? How's it going? Nas from the UK. What's happening, man? So that's that. Again, you can always DM me if you have a question. You can email me. You can find my email on josetrujilloart.com, or you can just click the link here and you'll find me. Roger says those workshops are money. Love them. Thank you so much, Roger. Really appreciate that. How's it going? Yeah, if you chose being an artist as your career and you're not getting those workshops, you're not going to find that type of information on YouTube, guys. Okay, even the stuff that I talk about here, you're not going to find it. No one's handing out that information. Nas says love the workshop. Thank you so much, Nas.
Are you delivering? DoorDash. It's delivery. Okay, fine.
So that's the idea, my friends. Again, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys. Cheers from the UK, mate. Thank you so much. Love your philosophy. Thank you. I appreciate that, Alan. Take care. I'll be talking to you guys soon again. Constance says the Zoom calls are gold dust. I love that. Yeah, the Zoom calls are it, huh? They're pretty legit.
How old are you?
I really have a lot of fun doing those Zoom calls. And we're getting ready for the next one, okay? It's the third Monday and the third Thursday. Remember, guys. First Monday, third Thursday. What is it? Yeah, something like that. I have it written down somewhere. It's twice a month. All right, take care, my friends. We'll talk to you soon. Again, if you have questions, you can always contact me. Bye-bye.
Thank you, darling.